Clear.
Yeah, mate, yeah.
4. Good. Keep going. Yep. Yep, it's all good. There's Jett there. Going. Keep going. Hang on. 3. Kieran! 10, 1 foot! Go 4.
Okay, they're all retreated there. Sean's on side. Keep going. All retreated.
I was on.
Backwards.
4. Yeah.
Happy, mate.
Good, mate. Oh, good watch. 4. Pass, good. Keep going. 4. Coming in 5. Yeah.
Happy, mate.
All good, mate. Good boys. Go 2. Second marker, 16! 16!
16!
6 more! No tackles. Markers.
No touch. Keep going. 1 coming.
I got Rick. They're all good. Everyone's good!
Good.
Keep going! Grounding there.
Yeah, I'm happy, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. What have you got?
He said he looked straight at me. He says, "Are you even happy watching the game?"
Who's that?
Ben's father, number 1 here.
Ben.
After he played.
Ben, can't say that to an official. You're in the bin.
It's about Queensland Cup's country round as we get to take the game to rural places. We were out at Auguffella this week with a population of 328 and we were 745 kilometres in the northwest of Brisbane. It did end on a sour note though, with Ben Farr being sent off in the final 5 minutes for dissent to the referee, which put a damper on a pretty good game of football. Looking at some of the players in this one, we looked at a couple of Dolphins. We looked at Kenny Bromwich and Sean O'Sullivan this week. I look at Sean O'Sullivan with the ball and he did some really nice things, but defensively there are some red flags. He missed 8 tackles, but he did lead the Devils to their big win in the context of the season. We'll look at how that marries up with the ladder in a moment. Also, Kenny Bromwich, he spent most of the year with the Devils this year, but he had just under 100 metres, a try, a couple of tackle breaks, and was really solid in defence, while Manasi Kaho has been Mr. Consistent on the sting for the Devils, picking up another try, a swag of metres, and 8 tackle breaks. For the Wynnum Manly Seagulls, there's no surprise the leading tackle buster in the competition was at it again. Kalala Saitao with 13 tackle breaks just under 100 metres and 12 tackles in a very solid display. But all eyes on Selwyn Cobbo. He's back in the NRL side this week, and we were asking for effort on effort on effort. And look what he finally did. He did that in this game, just under 200 metres, some tackle breaks, 2 line breaks, a try assist, and that critical try just before the break. And then you got Luke Gale, Mr. Consistent, 150% on both sides of the ball, over 100 metres, some couple of tackle breaks as well, in a very sound display for Luke Gale. Well, next up we're going over to Emerald at Alan McIndoe Park for the clash between the Western Clydesdales and the Central Queensland Capras. Both sides down the bottom of the ladder and both want to try and get away from the spoon.
Ben. Outside. Tackle. Outside. Good! I've got no charge. Big up, Ben, mate. Yeah, no dramas. Hey, go! 1. Five! You're offside! Outside. Go, Ben. On Jackson K. Up, down. So, no disadvantage to defensive water retreated. Good, middle's okay. Still up! Up, down. Ball's down, mate. You're happy. That's all you got. He's on, Ben. That's good. Yeah, mate, he's on 2. Sounds good. Good oh, don't go early. Go hold. Hold down. Take well off with early, Peter. Okay. Good. Sit up and cut. Down. And down. Come back to a 4-4. Oh! Good clear, guys. Don't tackle. Oh, good. Don't tackle. Hold on. Yes, mate. Down. Emily! Go! Moving. Get up and... No! Play on! Good day, Jay.
Really turned it on for country round. Some difficult conditions, but both sides put together a fine display of football in a 20-all draw between these two sides. In a town that is 660 kilometres northwest of Brisbane and a population of just under 15,000 people. No doubt the locals definitely getting amongst it and enjoying it at Alan McIndoe Park. Our stats deep dive, Corey Fenning, our focus. He was on the end of 2 great kicks, had over 150 metres, a lot of tackle breaks, had some errors in him though, so that's something that he will need to work on. Most of them were kick sort of defusal errors as well. Viewer Schwalger, this bloke is an absolute machine. We've said it so often this year that he's returned to the Western Clydesdales, just giving him that little bit of an edge in attack. He's had over 10 tackle breaks in this one yet again this season, over 100 metres and a try as well. And then Todd White off the bench, he's been a good forward for them. A couple of tackle breaks, an offload. He had limited money. Sorry, not limited money, limited movement in and around the football, but I thought his defence was pretty strong as well. For the Capras, Tane Kirion is where I want to start because we challenged him at the beginning of the year to up his work rate, and he's done that in a lot of fashion. He did concede a couple of costly penalties that led to Clydesdales tries, but I'm going to take the good with the bad. I love the increased work rate for Tane Kirion at the former Canberra Raider. Harrison Graham's a really interesting player that I want to talk about now. He's had over 60 metres, played the full 80 out of dummy half, a couple of tackle breaks, defended really well in the middle, but where does his future lie? Christian Wolf was using him a little bit more this season, but it's just going to be where he fits going forward. Max Plaff still to come back into this rotation. If he wants regular first grade, he might have to look elsewhere, and it's going to be interesting to see where he does end up. And then you go Cooper Marshall. He had a try, over 100 metres again, a couple of tackle breaks, an offload, really strong defensively in the centres, and apologies, mate, your try wasn't captured on the closer vision, so he had to go the Eagle cam, mate, but it's all good. Your try did make our show this week. Well, next up, we're going over to Charters Towers in Queensland for the match-up between the high-flying Townsville Blackhawks, who have stumbled the last few weeks, taking on the South's Logan side, desperate for a win to get back in the race of the game.
Go 2.
Good line.
Good. Up, full
Grounding.
Yeah.
4. Good line.
And 4.
Touch.
Touch on 4. Good. Yeah, and ball down.
They've got 0 tackles.
Did you have a touch as well?
Yeah, it's got 0 tackles. Come off.
Last.
Good line.
Left side. Good line.
Jason's good.
Play on. Kick goes. Still last. Still last.
Second kick on side.
Keep going. Good. Ball's down.
Line's good. Line the ground in a good.
Happy with touch. Thanks, mate. Go 4. Good.
Knock on. 0 coming.
Righto. Ball down.
Yeah, mate, all good.
Go 3, Anthony, not square. Play on.
Keep going. Still
On
3.
On 3. Come behind. Keep going through. Ball down.
Grounding.
Yeah. Go 4.
Good line. Good through the middle. 6 is good.
Faces.
Yes,
down.
try.
That's right. Ball down.
Yes.
2. That side. That side. And 2. Okay. Ball's down.
Good on the right.
Okay. Go
Catch.
south. Ball
Try.
down.
Try,
Catch in the
mate.
air and ball down. Thanks,
Yep.
mate. Go 2. And 2.
Short.
Up and the ball down.
That's momentum
He's got
over.
momentum's got him over. That's it. Go 2.
Good line.
That side. And ball down.
Grounding good.
Thanks, mate.
To quite a significant upset, a strong second half performance from South Logan, getting them over the line by 18 points over the Mendy Blackhawks in this game. Charters Towers is only 134 kilometres from Townsville, so it was really a home game of sorts in a population with just under 12,000 people. Now it's time to take a look at our focus deep dive, and it's Josh Stuckey who I want to start with. He did a training trial with Souths last year. Given that Allegiance is still going strong, he could be working back there for the summer. Good in the middle third again, a couple offloads, 26 tackles, a very sound display. Dudley Dudley, now surely, if you're a team that's scouting these competitions, you are looking at these two guys and thinking, I'm offering the kitchen sink at both of them. Dudley a double, 150 metres, a couple of line breaks, a couple of tackle breaks. He's such a weapon, and he's the Queensland Cup's leading try scorer, now with 20 tries on the season. Lennox Tobo's been a bit of a revelation at the back since coming back from a workplace accident. He had over 200 metres, a couple of line break assists, a good try assist. He's been everywhere in the middle third. For the South Logan side, Mitchell Owen has come up from the Penrith brothers in our sort of third string pathways in New South Wales. He's found a home at South Logan, picking up a double over 120 running metres. There's a couple of line breaks as well in a very sound display. But Anthony Milford, with the ball, he's an absolute weapon still. A couple line break assists, 3 try assists. He had the ball really on his string for that Rio try in particular. But the tackle efficiency needs to significantly uptick. 64% at any level is just not good enough. That does need to lift from the MILF. And then the skip up, Rory Ferguson, a try, a line break over 150 metres. 4 tackle breaks, a couple offloads. Sturdy as always in the middle third is Rory Ferguson. Well, our next match is going to take us to the clash between the Tweed Seagulls and the Sunshine Coast Falcons. The Seagulls have gotten back on track in recent weeks, but the Falcons are looking to continue their good run of form with a strong performance here.
Oh! Release in! Square! Up! Go one. Go one. Keep going. Still one. Still one. Down. I'm happy with touchline, mate. Good line, mate. Not late. Everyone on the right's good. Thank you. Backward, still 5. Play on. Coming into 1. Coming into 1. Down. Coming into tackle 1, mate. Thanks, Dre. 1. Harry in the middle. Harry. Left side's good here. Catch. Keep going. Okay, we're all good here. Yeah, mate, all good. Go 3. Go to Kane this set. Kaylee. Yep. 3, outside Drew. Keep going. That's good. Coming in. Down. Coming into 4. Last. Contact's okay. Keep going. Still up. Keep going. Up. Down. Nice tackle. Go 3. Good line. Get there. Down. Coming into 4. All good.
Gunnedah enjoyed a great bit of footy in this one. Sunshine Coast, they got out to an 18-0 lead at half-time, but I thought Tweed did a good job to claw it back. Sam Stevenson having some fun there on the edge, but Lazarus Varlepu charging across to make it 24 points to 12. Gunnedah has a population of just under 2,000 people, and it's only 360 kilometres north of Brisbane, so very much people getting out there and enjoying the footy. Let's take a look at some key players. I mentioned Sam Stevenson. That's where we start. He had a couple errors, but find me a rookie winger that is complete at this level. I'll give you a hint. You can't. He had a try, 3 line breaks, a couple of tackle breaks, just under 200 metres, a try assist as well. He's going to be a very, very good player, Sam Stevenson. I'm very excited to see how he shapes out. Luke Burton, in 49 minutes, he put together a very impressive stat line of just under 200 metres, a couple of offloads, 7 tackle breaks for a front rower. And then he also had 29 tackles at 100% tackle efficiency. I don't think you could ask for much more than that. Cooper Bye, it feels like he's a regular here at the moment. 58 minutes, over 120 metres, a couple of post-contact metres, a nice offload, 30 tackles and just a couple of misses. He's certainly adapting to open age football quite nicely. For the Falcons, I'm going to kick off with big Lazarus Varlepu. This is sort of the game I wanted to see from Lazarus. A game where he dominated the middle third, and he did that in spades. They got together a really nice try to make it 24 points to 12 as well. But this is sort of the consistency I want to see from Lazarus Varlepu going forward. Kane Jackson, the former Black Hawk, who's come back down again. He had over just under 150 metres, a couple line break assists, a couple of tackle breaks, and offload as well. He had great centre defence. He was really targeted on that side of the field. Did himself a sound job. And then Zion Johnson's been a flyer this season for the Falcons. Another double and over 130 metres as well. Well, next up we're going to the clash between Burleigh and the Northern Pride. It's sort of David v Goliath at the moment with these two sides, but let's see how it shapes up from Maramba.
Outside. Did you say it was touch?
Yeah,
Touch, 6 to go. 8 now, kicker.
Okay.
Clear.
Left good, 9 needs 10.
Go to it, man! Knock on. Play on. 0 coming, grounded, that's all clear.
Yep.
Happy boys?
Yeah, mate.
6 more. Go. Kicker. Kick good! Go to it! Knock on.
Knock on Burleigh first.
No, I've got knock on him. and then it's play on. I'm happy with the content.
Okay.
Yeah. 6 go. Go 2.
Is it good? He's good.
Is he good?
He's on. Keep going.
Catch. Happy? You happy he's onside? Yep. Still!
Go on, 6.
Go 2 markers! Right.
All good.
Two.
Much better.
Outside 2. I'm happy with that. Wait! Go, second marker! Kick.
That's good. That's good.
Catch. Grounding. Happy, mate?
Yeah, all good.
Happy. 3. Happy, boys?
All good, mate.
Good. Play that! 6 to go! Hold on.
We're treated to a great game of football between Burleigh and the Northern Pride. A 6-point difference between the two sides in front of a pretty hardy crowd. Now, Yarrabah is located around 50 kilometres east of Cairns and it has a population of around 4,500 people. So very much an intriguing contest between these two sides. Let's take a look now at our stats deep dive, and we're going to kick off with Dean Merida. Now, he's earned himself a recall into this third this week into the Broncos system, over 130 metres, a couple of line breaks, a try assist, some tackle breaks too. Very consistent from Dean over the last couple of weeks since his demotion to Queensland Cup. Lockie West at fullback continues to be one of the more formed fullbacks of the competition. A double over 230 metres, a line break, a couple of line break assists, a try assist too, and then he was just very sound with his movements across the field. And then Takatau Mapapalungi is becoming the impact forward of the season. Just look at those numbers consistently again, smashing it out of the ballpark, and the best part is he's defensively holding up very strongly too. Dane Orca-Folau, he picked up a double in this one, just over 70 metres, a line break, a couple of tackle breaks, an offload there too. He's surely very much becoming a real impact forward for the Pride on the edge. Zach Hertigan is another one that's picked up a bit of attention up north. He was initially brought in as a half, but he's moved into sort of a hooking role given some of the changes with the way the Cowboys have been playing. He's picked up a line break assist, a try assist, 23 tackles, a couple of misses as well. And then Jack Boyle, Mr. Consistent on the edge, a game high, 49 tackles, a couple of tackle breaks, a line break. That line he ran was really nice for the try as well to give the Pride some hope in the second half. Well, we're going over to Moranbah next to continue our Queensland country round, and it was Mackay Cutters who have found some form, looking to solidify their spot in the 8 against the Brisbane Tigers side who have been up and down, but have been more up than down of late.
Try. Look at me. It's high contact with force, the whole body to work with air. 3. Good line. Clown, good line. Outside. 3.
Good sideline, mate.
Go, slow.
Good, mate.
Go 2. More, Asher! Good now. Play on, that's the pass. All the way. Go. Pick up. Here it comes. Good. Field of in goal.
Four. Keep going here, mate.
No tackle. Everyone falls off in. Braden. Go. Behind. Down, mate.
Up a win for the Brisbane Tigers. It's a population of 9,500 people, and it's 580 kilometres away from Townsville, and the Tigers definitely picked up a big performance there. The Cutters made it interesting in the final 20, before a free try blitz from the Tigers, including 2 in the last 5, was enough to see victory. Stats deep dive. I'm going to kick off with Mason Kidder now. This is his best performance that I've seen from him since the affiliation switch we touched on a couple of weeks ago. He had over 100 metres, was sound in defence. What I want to see from Mason in the progressions week on week. Jed Bignell at 5'8". His game ended prematurely a fortnight ago against Wynnum, but he picked up a try, a line break, over 60 running metres, a couple of tackle breaks, was targeted in defence, but if you look at those numbers on the screen, it shows that it wasn't much of a drama. And then Brenton Byron, the man has just got speed to burn, over 200 metres, a lot of that in the support play off the Jimmy Ungalek line break. He had over an offload as well, picked up that try to make it a very interesting ball game towards the end, and it'll be very intrigued to see how he ends up as far as train and trials are concerned. For the Brisbane Tigers, I'm going to kick off with the man down the bottom. Keegan Russell Smith came down to Melbourne following stints in the Panthers pathway program. He's been up in the Brisbane Tigers for the last year and a half now. Really moved into sort of this 14 role, and it's really working out for him. He picked up a couple of line breaks, some tackle breaks, a try in this one that really sealed the game, and then also defensively has improved tenfold. Taj Wood picked up a try, over 180 metres for him, a couple of tackle breaks, some line breaks as well, 22 tackles. He has really come a long way this season, Taj Wood. Started the year at fullback, you might recall. Then he moved into the halves and he sort of emerged quietly on the scene as a guy that can really do a job, and he's done that in a lot of spades. Speaking of a guy that's done a job from a new place, Mitch Spencer from Canberra. He's done really well this year, over 100 metres. We've highlighted him a couple of times. An offload as well, some tackle breaks, and defensively, really, really sound stuff. Well, Country Week concluded in Goondiwindi, where Ipswich are looking to continue their good run of form against the Redcliffe side, fighting to stay in the race for the top 4.
So they look to spread the ball here. Lovely cutout pass to the winger, and the Jets in open pastures. And what a run down the touchline by Hayden Sutton, the debutant. So Sutton finding himself on the right wing there. Oh, from dummy half as the seas open up. Well, look where they are, full set of 6. Patama, Bailey, crush ball, and Bailey's over as he plants the Steeden down the...
Jarrett's feet are absolutely huge. And here's a great break by Redcliffe.
Yeah, we'll come back to Jarrett's feet in a moment because Fuller is into open pastures. Support on the outside. A little juggle, but Dontere Louis finishes off to deny Ross. Inside the 10 here, Pascoe. They're going to score here, the Jets. They're lining up. Alafiana, Khan Pereira. Here's Pascoe. 10 out, centre of the park. Bryant. On now to Broadhurst. Oh, beautiful delivery to Rashawn Denny. The Dolphins just finding it tough to crack the Jets at the moment. Little juggle there from Louis, and here goes LJ Nonu, who's got Fitzgibbon back-footed. Gets away from Fitzgibbon with ease. LJ Nonu in the corner. So 20 metres out. Fuller, kick in behind. Looking for Miles out there. Bats it back in beautifully. They've got it, the Dolphins. Jack Johnson on to boo.
It probably was.
And now here's a break down the outer side, and Miles is away. Zachary Miles. And there's the icing on the cake for the Dolphins.
Saw a classic game between these two sides, with the Dolphins picking up 3 second-half tries to seal a 10-point win in front of a pretty decent crowd. It's a 4-hour drive from Goondiwindi to Brisbane, and the population's around 10,000 people. So they got to see a very fine game of rugby league to conclude yet another successful country weekend. Stats deep dive. I'm going to kick off with Connor Broadhurst. He's the 19th player in the QRL in the Queensland Cup's history to play 200 games. He had 4 line break assists, a try assist as well. His pass selection was really, really strong throughout the match. But then you go to Oliver Pascoe. I mean, he could almost be a de facto player of the week for us at this point. A line break assist, try assist, over 120 metres, 7 tackle breaks, 45 tackles. The bloke is an absolute machine. If the Titans don't pick him up on a train and trial deal next year, then something has seriously gone wrong in this affiliation partnership, because I've been really impressed with what I've seen from Pascoe this season. Ryan Foran's next. He's on the Titans development deal. He picked up a try under 50 metres. So look at that. That's not the best. He had a line break as well. 30 tackles. He's had limited chances within the NRL setup, but it's almost approaching now or never. Next up, Trey Fuller at the back. Over 120 metres again. A line break assist. His kicking game was really good at the back. He had a try assist, 3 try assists, forced dropout as well. And then he also had 4 tackle breaks as well. LJ Nonu, he sort of switched around the affiliations a little bit. He's picked up a spot here in Redcliffe. He had a try, 170 metres, a line break, a couple tackle busts, and he's also defensively pretty sound in the centres. Then Max Bailey picked up a try in 60 minutes, over 110 running metres for him. He also had a line break, a couple tackle busts, an offload, and pretty sturdy stuff in defence. What does that do to the ladder? Well, the North Devils now lead thanks to a superior for and against from Townsville. Burleigh now a 1 point back following their win against the Pride. Meanwhile, I should say, Wynnum Manly are now down into 4th position, but there's plenty of time for them to catch up with the for and against very much on their side. Elsewhere, Redcliffe, Sunshine Coast, Ipswich and Papua New Guinea are inside the 8. But look at that gap. It's only 1 point for the Brisbane Tigers as they're fighting for a top 8 spot. South's Logan a further 3 back in the race for the 8 along with Mackay. Tweed, Northern Pride and the Capras, they could pretty much almost kiss their seasons goodbye, sadly, at this point. They do have buys in play, but I think the points gap is too much. Meanwhile, the Clydesdales, their season's been gone for a little while now, but they'll be looking to play spoilers in the coming weeks. Our team of the week for round 19, though, looks like this. We've got Lachlan West, our player of the round at fullback. We'll go for him in a moment. Selwyn Cobbo and Corey Fenning on the wings. LJ Nonu and Sam Stevenson in the centres. Taj Wood and Sean O'Sullivan are our halves. The forwards, Luke Burton and Lazarus Varlepu. Oliver Pascoe is our hooker. Kenny Bromwich and Jack Boyling in the back row. Rory Ferguson locks the scrum. The bench at Keegan Russell Smith, Takata Mapapalangi, Dane Kiriona and Luke Gale. So a lot of NRL presence this week, which is a bit of a rarity for our Queensland Cup Team of the Week in Country Weekend. But it's time for our player of the round, Lachie West. He had a double over 230 running metres, a game high for him. A line break, 2 line break assists, a try assist. His creativity has really been a shining light for the Burleigh Bears since he's moved back into fullback. You've had Crean's Toya go out onto the wing and where he could just absolutely motor through out of yardage. He's been in several systems, as we mentioned. I think he was at the Brisbane Tigers, the Northern Pride, and now at Burleigh. He's had 3 systems in 3 seasons, but he puts himself now in the best position to really push forward at an NRL level. Latrell Segwald is gone. He was on a trainer trial as far as fullbacks are concerned. Selwyn Cobbo is potentially his full-on departure for Redcliffe means that there is a potential fullback 2 spot open within the Broncos system. And Lachie West really putting himself in the shop window for that selection. Benny Farr too over at Wynnum doing some nice stuff as well. But plenty of competition, not a bad thing. Lachie West this week's player of the round. Well, we're going down to New South Wales where Friday night saw a clash between Norths and Wests as the 2 traditional rivals went head to head for the Jason Taylor Cup.
Now will take them on, or gets to the line. Has he got the ball down? Yes, he has. Somehow squeezes the point onto the grass, right up Main Street. Here he goes now, off the left foot. Rounds Toby, still going. Great tackle in the end from behind. Marshke makes it, but they're shot to bits at the moment, the Bears. Lovadua will send it here for Falls. Now on to Lob. Straightens once again. Lob up Main Street, right through the middle. Gets a try. Away. Caught 3 metres shy from the Bears try line. Murray will have a little scoot himself. Oh, there was acres of space through marker. Marching towards the try line. Eventually stopped here on play 3. Crash play now, and they will go all the way through, this time through Jaden Yates. Last one brought up here for the Bears. Satrick out for Marshke, this time off the left boot. Lovely kick, Main's there on the spot, and will get it down just inside the dead ball line. That's better from the Bears. An effort there from Lob, that was all that stood between him and a try. Now great hands from Marshke. What a pass from Toby. And then Tuimalatu Brown mid-air. Like here for the Magpies. They'll come out to Falls once again. Floating pass, lovely ball for Letty. Now for Lalali. Oh, he's absolutely collared there from Toby. If it's not a try, it'll have to be a penalty try.
But it'd be fair to say that was a little bit self-inflicted, wasn't it, James? Because they played a pretty good try.
In fact, last one brought up here, so they didn't get the set restart. Marshke with the crossfield kick. Katoa up above them. Takes it. Still play on here for the Bears. Looking to get the offload free. Oh, the Magpies played it. That'll be 6 again. Heyman won't need it. He picks it up and scores straight away underneath the black dot.
Tough Rampage from Western Suburbs saw an 18-0 lead before the Bears came flying back before a Luke Lau-Lily try in the 66th minute, which ended up being a possible 8-point try for contact made on the try scorer, blew the North Sydney bubble out despite a late Kieran Heyman try. The Bears couldn't claw back the 2-point difference. For the Bears, Kieran Hayman was once again proving that he is making a mock of it down here in North Sydney. Picked up a try, a couple of goals, a couple of line breaks, 7 tackle breaks. He had a one-on-one steal as well. He's really loving it with life back in Sydney. Sualagi Tumalatu Brown, he's been sort of just on the trajectory upwards since he started playing regular open age football. A try, it was such a silky finish, wasn't it, in the corner? A couple of tackle breaks. He loves an offload, doesn't he? He's thrown at least 12.5 offloads since he's made his New South Wales Cup debut. He does have some errors in him, and that's the only knock I have on his game at the moment. He makes some pretty cheap errors, but all rookie wingers does that, as we mentioned with Sam Stevenson earlier in the show. And then Kobe Thomas, Mr. Consistent, coming off the bench in a different sort of role this week. He had over 100 metres, couple of tackle breaks, really sound in defence too. Next up, I want to go to POTW, down the bottom, 46 minutes. He loves a back fence carry, doesn't he? Over 70 metres, a couple of tackle breaks, some good signs as far as leg speed, something that's been missing from Western Suburbs this season, but Tautau has delivered that in droves, and it's encouraging the other forwards to run with him. I mentioned Luke Lauliti. He had a try, 164 metres, a line break, some tackle breaks as well, very classy stuff. And then Charlie May was sort of going between hooker and lock during his time on the field. He scurried over from dummy half, a couple of tackle breaks, some offloads in there as well, over 100 metres once more, and then 29 tackles to go with it. Well, Saturday's matches saw us take a trip to Mount Smart Stadium for the clash between the New Zealand Warriors and South Sydney. South Sydney were heavily undermanned, while the Warriors were looking to unearth some future stars. It's David v. Goliath from Go Media Stadium.
Field position of the match so far for the Warriors. Cleary takes off. Oh, Jett by name, Jett by nature. So Healy feeds it out to this left-hand side. Layman at speed now to a peaky. Finds a little ball here for Carly, who will go down the sideline. Beautifully worked from the Warriors. That's a last one brought up, though, for the Warriors. Now Healy takes off. Oh, splits them. Healy, some individual brilliance from the hooker. Opening, well shut down in the end. It was a good tackle. And down low from Iash. And now here they go with Carly, who sets up the line. Big step on the inside for Gudgeon. Fends him away. Now turns inside another defender. Oh, what a run here from Sio. Carly, some options both sides of the play. The ball here for Healy. He'll go to the left with Tafua. Then Cleary delays the pass. Beautiful ball now. Fatialofa will go all the way over the try line. Inside the end he goes. Finally caught here. Now Tafua takes off straight for the line. Beautiful little run from Tafua off the back of the work of Kalani going. Again here for the Warriors. They'll pick up the best part of 70. And now Tafua on the last taking off. Oh, Cleary finds a beautiful pass out wide. Chip back towards the middle. Taken from Tafua. Oh, inside the 10. Last one brought up here for the Warriors. They'll look to the boot of Jett Cleary. Crossfield kick. Chasers coming through. Batted backwards. Play on for now. Casey comes away with it. Here go the Rabbitohs. Finally an opportunity. Casey puts the foot down. In fact, it's Bentley Harpe who takes off. He's got too much speed. And against the run of play, Bailey Bentley Harpe. No real pressure there on the south line. Tafua playing out to this right-hand side. Lovely little tip on play from Cleary. Ali then just turned away about 5 metres from the try line. Tafua down a short side once again to a peak. He will squeeze through and get a foul. Cleary brings it right to the line. Oh, big dummy, then takes off again. So we play the ball as well now for Fatialofa. As going, little tip on play right at the line. That's beautiful. Now Iramia Tova puts on a lovely pass and Tuapiki pushing through the middle up here for the Warriors. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Cleary sweeping and finds a lovely pass for Graham Taufa. Again, a touch of class going. Floating a long pass out and they got interested too here, the Rabbitohs. Now Iramia Toiava finds a flick pass for Corsi, who puts it on the toe. Chasers coming through. They need a bounce. They'll get a bounce. It's Kalani going.
Much of a contest. South Sydney having to pluck players from local aggro competitions just to field a 17 in this game. And the Warriors have been the form side of the New South Wales Cup, and they continued on their rampaging season. 68 points to 6 in the final analysis. And I'm going to start with Jett Cleary because he had one coming out party and a half. I'm going to touch him a little bit more in our stats deep dive because all you have to do is look at the numbers and know we're coming back to this one a little bit later in the show. But just his running game, there are so many things like his brother that he does around his footwork, his steps. He was so fun to watch on Saturday afternoon. He was just running amok against that South Sydney pack of forwards. Sarah Carley has continued his upward trajectory, picking up a double, an offload as well, a couple of line breaks, 10 tackle breaks. He's continuing a major breakout season. He might not be ready for first grade necessarily next season, but given some of the outside backs the Warriors are happy to let go of at the moment, I think that he might have no choice but to have to continue those progressions forward. And then Dane Tuapiki, no surprises to see the bloke carve up once more. Over 200 metres, a personal tally of 24 points. Some line breaks, some tackle breaks. He tortured that South Sydney side all afternoon long. For South Sydney, I'm going to start off with a Coogee Wombat. Cody Kelso, 35 minutes off the pine, 6 for 61. That's sort of that 10 metre per carry we're talking about for the forwards. 4 tackle breaks. That was a team high, and offload as well. 26 tackles, only 2 missed. Considering South Sydney got absolutely slaughtered all over the field, take that as a major win that Cody Kelso's minutes were pretty strong. Tim Johansson, he was one of the only few that had a red-hot crack. He had 55 tackles, which was a game high, and offload. No tackle breaks, which has sort of been his little cliche of such since moving to South Sydney from Western Suburbs, but he's been the one constant in this side that continues to go forward. I've also thought Shaquille Mitchell was really underwhelming in that pack. Kelso definitely outplayed him in this one. And then Bailey Bentley Harpe, returning from injury. Not the best game to return in when you're getting slaughtered like this, but there were some good signs from him, and it wouldn't surprise me to see him become more of a regular face in first grade as the season unfolds. Well, next up, we're going over to Combank Stadium for the clash between Penrith and Manly. Penrith were looking to continue their gap on the Roosters, while Manly are looking to get away from the bottom four.
By referee Klein as Wakeham trickles or kick through, and Jacob Sykes, and under all sorts of pressure, Price. Now they go short side and the pass from Tolau, MG Jr. to play it. Now Cole to Eisenhuth, Tolau playing as a third receiver, and then sweeping into the line, Dane Laurie, who claps on the afterburners. He returned after a 3-year hiatus last year and is doing some good things for Penrith, and that is a wonderful kick foul. Lalo sensing the urgency. He has made an absolute meal of it. Walsh thought about passing and then tucked it under the wing, an offload away to Cheekham. Then the ball finds its way out to Wynnum for the second effort. Wakeham takes it to the line. Walsh goes short, and Tommy Talau has the Seagulls third. Turn serve, and Tolau, he'll put up a carbon copy kick, and Alamotti, he milked that, and now Manly threatening to go the distance. And they may do so here. Oh, yes. 10 metres out, shot to acting half. Walsh the crossfield kick. And he has Talau going up, and then on his outside to Keoa. Oh. Summerton, first receiver. Then Lipowitz. Out to Cole, then Laurie, the one-hander. They've got them cut to ribbons here. And David Farley, one of the Summerton. And the captain beats 2 dummies and goes straight through. Oh, Luke Summerton. Lipowitz getting tangled up there as they go short side. Muagatudi, Aaron Shop coming through. Aaron Shop gets there first for the crucial tackle. Now Luke, quick play the ball, Summerton, Laurie. Then the pass, and it's picked off. It's been picked off by Wynnum, and he will run away and score the try, which may prove to be the match winner. 6 again, though, for Penrith. Tolau, and Tolau does it all himself.
Up a 6-point victory despite conceding 4 tries in the space of 10 ruthless minutes. Got to give it to Manly. They hung in there and they got the result. A 6-point win over the Penrith Panthers in a tense and quite times controversial game at Combank Stadium. Manly continuing to prove that anything and everything can happen in this competition. Our stats deep dive indicates that too. Dane Laurie, a try over 150 metres, 2 line breaks, a couple of try assists and line break assists as well. He did miss 4 tackles for a 64% tackle efficiency, and just a couple of times the fullbacks, they just got to be a little bit more better under the high ball. Look, catch, then think about what's in front of you. Just shortcutting a little bit at times, and that's sort of how they get caught out at this level, and then it shows even more at an NRL level. Trent Tolau is next. I really like watching this guy play, and he's sort of Coming to first grade at times this season and done some good things, but it seems like Schneider's kind of got that 14 spot for the moment. I do think Tolau can offer a little bit more than him, and it showed in this one. I thought he was really, really sound. Asukapara as well, over 100 metres. He's been a real explosive back for the Panthers this season, and it wouldn't surprise me if another club came across and picked him up. For Manly, Jacob Sykes did a lot of early signs in the season. Of course, he was a good player in the Indigenous All-Stars game. A try in this one, over 120 metres, 35 tackles, very sound. Tommy Talau did have some poor reads in this one, but overall, his skill with the ball shone above everything else, and he was a key part, as was Joey Walsh. This young half is getting better and better with reps in this competition. A line break assist, a try assist, a couple of forced dropouts as well. Defensively, he's starting to become a lot stronger in contact, which is some of the concerns I have about young halves early. If you can get through contact nice and early now, then the technical stuff around the defence will come to the forefront as well. So, good signs from Joey Walsh in this fixture. But continuing the theme of the lower grade wrap, we're going over to the Beers, Footy and Food Festival. Otherwise, a packed out Henson Park as Newtown hosts St George Illawarra. Newtown are hoping to put away the memory of last week's disaster against the Roosters, while for the Dragons, they're looking to keep up the good fight.
Line reaches out and lands in the in goal. On come the Jets. Beryl gets it back from Liu, and Beryl carves them apart. They're looming up on his right, they're looming up on his left, and Pickering's under the posts. Dixon's all the way back on the 30 if they go that way. They go to Puru, then it's short to Liu. Liu goes again. Liu lands in the in goal again. Very deep to the right, trying to cook something. Ilias and Liu and Glover, flat from Glover. This is a lovely pass from Stanley Trail. Sagranis gets it away. That is better from the Dragons. Finau for Muleisen. Then it's Glover. Then it's Ramsey. Ramsey short to Sagranis, who's got a 20-metre stroll across. From Buchanan. Now Puru. He's given it to Dixon, who was all on his own. Jones and Puru. In behind again from Puru. Dixon's there, and so too is Gabriel. Jones for Puru. Guess what? Going up again. Kraft Taimoana Nui under it. He's dropped it again. Beryl's landed on it this time. Beryl has landed on it. 20 away on last. Williams finds Ilias. Ilias forced to run. Flicks for Pacifici Tonga. Now it's Glover. Early from Glover. This might be another try assist. He's found it back inside. It's Sagranis who finishes it off. At the famous old ground. Jones for Puru. Puru then for Herotti. Straight from the scrum, Herotti spins and turns and lands. Beryl scurries. Turned it back inside. That's Herotti again. Chance of a hat-trick here. Herotti. He's across for a hat-trick.
Keep on fighting the big battle. A massive win for them, reversing last week's disastrous second half against the Roosters with a 24-point win over the St George Illawarra Dragons in front of a packed house at Henson Park. Morwenni Hiroti, the absolute star of this football game for the Newtown Jets. He had over 300 metres, a hat-trick, 15 tackle breaks. That's right, 15 of them, about nearly a half dozen line breaks. He had 4 of them in this one. Everything he touched turned to gold for the Jets, and that in turn allowed Niwai Pulu to potentially have the best month and a half of his career that I've seen from Niwai so far. We have been very critical amongst his defence, amongst his owning of opportunities in the red zone. This is a positive step in the right direction for Niwai Pulu. We had about 5 try assists in this one. An offload, he really picked his moments, when to go deep into the line, and he absolutely nailed it. And then Michael Gabriel, I love the way he moves, man. He's got really nice footwork. He had over 80 metres in this one, a try, a line break assist. Defensively, he was really, really strong on the edge as well. He's been carrying a bit of an injury as well lately, so it's interesting to see the Cronulla are really a bit hush about that. We're not too sure what the go is there, but it's obviously something that he's just going to have to manage. Nick Sagranis, meanwhile, is an unfortunate case for the Dragons because he's starting to pick up some form, and now he's injured for the remainder of the season with that syndesmosis. He picked up a double, over 150 metres, a couple of line breaks, 5 tackle breaks, 2 offloads as well. The bloke's an absolute machine. Kyle Mahaisen, we love what he does out of dummy half. 95 metres in this one, a line break, picked his moments, went to run from dummy half, 39 tackles as well. And then Rayfire Tyler Mariner is an absolute Mr. Consistent on the bench for the St George Illawarra Dragons, playing just under an hour's worth of football, picking up over 100 metres, a couple of tackle breaks, an offload to boot, as well as 29 tackles. Well, next up we're going to GIO Stadium in Canberra for the clash between the Raiders and the Knights. Both sides desperate for a win, especially Canberra, to keep their faint final 5 hopes alive.
Numbers, plucked out of the air and off he's gone. The chaser's on, he won't be stopped. Wilson de Courcy. We mentioned he scored 3 when they last met, and now the intercept. Levi, only a metre away, goes for Preston. Prest does score. Mitch Prest, he's second. Again, shimmies to the right, comes back to the left. Prest looking for 2. Levi this time does go back to that right edge. Wet that air. The real wrestle. Have they held him up? No, they haven't. Levi. Sanders floats across field. Dummies 1-2. Tries to sneak through himself. Does sneak through himself. The Gidley flick, and he finds Joe Roddy. Outstanding work. Got that big right hand free, hasn't he? Arthur shimmies the kick. Eventually puts it. It's flat. Tipped on. Play on it'll be. Picks up. Referee's going to say try time. As a Wilson de Courcy at Crouch. Now Sanders goes himself, slices through, and does score. Too much pressure from the Raiders. Cook. High, and there it goes. Coming through, Anderson. Anderson wanted it. Turns it back inside. Mooney. Try time. The kick. Anderson chased. He got
moments. It was a clear win for the Canberra Raiders, picking up 2 tries in the final 15 minutes of play to seal a 12-point victory over the Newcastle Knights. Chris Lewis's side picking up what feels like a rare win at times this season. But let's look at some of the stats deep dive now. Trey Mooney has been a high-minute player this year. He's previously been in the headlines around his future, with the reports that he could be allowed to explore his options. This season, by some stats, he's been a bit down on his running meters per game. Like, he was averaging over 150 last year, around the 120 mark this year. But overall, I think he's been more consistent in a way. He's offloading more, he's engaging traffic, defensive numbers are up a little bit more. It's going to be intriguing to see how that plays out if a team puts in a big offer for him to try and get him into that sort of big minute role that Canberra have turned him into. But also from Canberra being a little bit filthy too, because you managed to develop this guy for a long period of time, but he's just not going to get a crack there. Next up, Ethan Sanders. I thought he was really strong with ball in hand. He had a try assist, a forced dropout, took the ball to the line really well. Defensively, there's still some work to be done. 12 tackles, 7 missed or ineffective tackles. That's something that Ethan needs to work on. He's a young half. All the young halves go through the teething stages of working out how to best manage the defence. And then Pasami Saulo, he's off to Newcastle. That was announced this week. Very consistent performance once again. For the Knights, Jake Arthur has really stood up since his arrival from Manly. He had a try assist, a couple offloads, and forced dropouts as well, really directing traffic. Lockie Crouch has picked up where some of these Knights forwards have respectfully not really done so. I think Tyrone Thompson's signing has been a major disappointment, and Crouch has come in. He's been in the joint for less than 5 minutes and has done a stellar job already. Tom Cant, I really like this guy. I think he's a really solid player. He's moved back in the cup the last couple of weeks. He's had over 100 metres, some tackle breaks, really consistent indeed. These two guys, Crouch and Cant, are really, really consistent. You throw in the likes of Manu Lalea, Celeste Moana, Mason Teague as well. Those guys are your future sort of players in and around the pack for the Newcastle Knights. But our final game of the round has some significant finals implications. The Bulldogs and the Roosters go head-to-head. The Roosters are looking to make up ground following Penrith's shock defeat earlier in the weekend.
NRL players. As Rodwell's got some space to run, and look what he's done straight away. He's got the pass away to Foley. Foley is gobbled up in an important tackle, but the Roosters have got them scattered. It's Townsend now for Rodwell again, then McCarthy. This is Johnson. Props back inside and flicks. Roosters in the corner. Put down from Penny. Here, examining the Dogs. Uwelu's short McCarthy. McCarthy barges there. A little scurry from him. Woods gets it left. Then it's Spinks. Cochrane out the back. Sewer down the left. Sewer fighting. He's gone past 4 of them. That is a mighty effort on the left wing. The Roosters building here. Chance to land a blow before half-time. Rodwell for Foley. And then the other Rodwell in the corner. Touch judge is looking. Referee is looking. Referee is pointed again. Now Rodwell dummies and carves them apart again, right down the heart of them. He's got the other Rodwell. It's Rodwellception at Belmore. He's heading under the posts. Tom's got 18 in 17 games. Roosters have held up well until now. Sexton for Woods. Woods now short. They haven't held up anymore. Spinks has gone through. On they come. Deep both ways. Sexton, short ball to Spinks. He's through them again. He's got Otakolo, takes a step. Goes to Sexton. Short ball to Todd. He deserves one. He's got one. The Bulldogs may just be level here. Otakolo looks for him. They're up quickly. They charge it down and catch it. But they're offside. They're offside in front of the posts. Sexton. The Bulldogs are alive.
The knock-on effect New South Wales Cup. The Roosters led for a long period, but a brave Canberra comeback and a controversial refereeing decision, which was correct, gave the victory to the Bulldogs by 2 points over the Roosters, and it keeps the Bulldogs within touching distance of the semi-final race. Let's look at our stats deep dive. Logan Spinks, the young back rower from the country, a double over 170 metres, 2 line breaks, an offload, a very sound game for the edge back rower. And it's also a return to the Toddzilla, Jack Todd, picking up a try over 130 metres. Defensively was sound as well. He had 2 tackle breaks, a couple offloads as well. A very sound display from Jack Todd. And then we got Toby Sexton next. He had over 100 running metres, 2 line break assists, 2 try assists, an offload, a very sound kicking game. Managed the Bulldogs very well across the park, and defensively was sound too. You're not seeing double. Both Rodwells feature for the Roosters. Toby Rodwell's running game is just so instinctive. I really do love watching him play. A couple of line breaks in this one. A try assist, 6 tackle breaks. Defensively sound too. Tom Rodwell is just the leading meter eater pretty much for the Roosters. He's second for metres gained, I think, in the New South Wales Cup behind Christian Dixon. It's either one of those two. Line break, 8 tackle breaks as well. He was placed on report for the Billy Slater-esque kick while defusing a bomb, but will be free to play. Also, continuing his try scoring form as well. 18 tries in 17 games. Max McCaffrey next as well. He's going to be an interesting one. He was facing the judiciary this week on a crusher tackle charge, but he picked up a try, 87 metres, 6 tackle breaks, and offload, 43 tackles in the middle third as well. A very sound display from Max McCaffrey. Now, we were mentioning a semi-final race throughout the New South Wales Cup, but let's take a look at it. Well, I think we can pretty much crown the Warriors runaway-minded premiers at this point. A 7-point gap, a win this week and a Dragons loss will pretty much secure it. The Dragons in second place, and it's Parramatta, Newtown and Penrith in the top 5. The Roosters missing a golden chance to level, but now the for and against sort of becomes very intriguing. Canterbury just a further point back, while Canberra's win sees them only 2 points away from the Roosters, while Western Suburbs are a game and a half back. North Sydney very much still in a chance as well, but they need results to start going their way. While for Newcastle, Manly and South, they could start planning ahead for 2025, while still proving to be a bit of a nuisance value. Team of the week time for round 21, and it's going to kick off with Moreni Hiroti at fullback, Sio Carly and Tom Rodwell in the wings, Asu Kapoa and Dick Signanis in the centres, Niwai Pudu at 5'8", Jett Cleary, our player of the round at half-back, Masami Solo and Charlie Murray in the forward pack, Jaden Beryl is our hooker, Max McCaffrey and Logan Spinks in the back row, while Jack Todd locks the scrum. The bench of Toby Sexton, Jacob Sykes, Kieran Hayman, Lockie Crouch, while our 18th man, Toby Rodwell, keeps his spot in the side from last week. But the player of the round, definitely Jett Cleary. He picked up a double, over 160 running metres, 3 line breaks, 8 tackle breaks, 3 line break assists, 2 try assists, 16 tackles with just 1 missed, 1 ineffective tackle as well. Well, the best thing Jett Cleary has done is just get out of Australia, because it's allowed him to develop on his own. Now, the only question mark I have is now, he set himself such a high standard with a career game like this. Will this now be the standard everyone holds him to? I think it'll be brutally harsh if people do. He holds himself to a high standard enough as it is, but if the media start putting pressure on him, then it could be a real test of his character. But Jett Cleary with an all-round performance in this game, and very much deserving of our player of the round performance. And that's our program for this week. Next week sees a number of important matches in the conduct of the semi-finals, no bigger than the clash of Belmore between Newtown and Canterbury on Sunday, while top of the table clash between the Warriors and Dragons. bookends us on Saturday as well in the knock-on effect New South Wales Cup. Meanwhile, our Queensland feature match next weekend is just one game, and that's a round one catch-up game between the Burleigh Bears and the Central Queensland Capras. We'll bring you all the highlights of that one next week, but for now, it's a pleasure bringing you the program once again. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time for another edition of the Lower Grade Wrap. Take care.